producer Yeshua Meir has asked that we discuss the Sefer haGeulah haTemurah from Rabbeinu Yoel. Of course, it's a big Sefer, as you can see over here. I'm sure there are many interesting nekudas in it. I just want to say over one nekuda because you have to know one general hakdama. I want to say there are certain people, gedolei olam. There are gedolei olam, and Rabbeinu Yoel is one of them. That everything they touch becomes gold. Everything they say is genius, is brilliant. You might think the outside world doesn't know. I mean, I'm not from the inside world of Rabbeinu Yoel's people, but at least I know to be married Gedolei Yisrael. Don't have to be mamish my rebbe to be married. I have my rabbeim. I mean, I go vote. I don't go with his shita in all inyonim. But a true ben Torah, a true shlumei amunah Yisrael, like the Isha haTkois, I think she was called. Isha haTkois, or anyway, the Isha Chachama that Yoav talked to, she said on herself, I'm from the shlumei amunah Yisrael. The Brisker Rav says that means I do midas chasidus. We won't go into that now. Anybody who's from the shlumei amunah Yisrael knows that gedolei olam you look up to, and you have cover for, you have derech eretz for, whether he's your rebbe or he's not your rebbe. That's one yesod. Another introduction I want to say is that you think that if you're from the outside world, you can think that Rabbeinu Yoel was just screaming and screaming against the Rishoyim, the Rishoyim. And you can start thinking, what do I have to... First of all, what do I have to scream so much about the Rishoyim? Every Ben Torah knows that the Rishoyim are Rishoyim. Second of all, you might think, since he screamed so much, he was just screaming the same thing over and over again. But if you look good in his Sefer, you see that every piece he says is a genius, is brilliant, is a chap, it's interesting, it's inspiring, it's stimulating. Every raya that he brings, that he would think to bring from there, that he thought to bring from there. You don't have to be his Talmud to enjoy the Sefer. The Sefer is a beautiful Sefer in itself. That's introduction. Now I want to say like this. The Sefer haGeulah haTemurah was written in the time of the 6th day, right after the 6th Day War, when there was a big nitzachon over here in Eretz Yisrael from the Israeli government, the Israeli army won against the Arabs, Nasser and his army, and the others. So there was a big simcha here, and people started talking, the Nisim. I mean, of course you have to thank Hashem. But people were talking about the Nisim that happened. And there was a certain feeling and an influence.
And you were here, of course.
And I was here, and I remember it. And they saw this rabbi that went to the council, and he blew the shofar there.
Went to Harabayis.
And they thought, they looked up to him like he's a big rabbi, and he blew the shofar. By the way, Reb Chaim Zimmerman said, should I say over what he said?
You can say it.
He said that now we know the old city is a city. Why? Because since there's a Stadt Meshuggah, he blows shofar there, now we know it's a city. One of the things a city needs is a Stadt Meshuggah.
But if you're talking about blowing the shofar at the koisel, you should know the first time when it says when the war comes into your land, you should go to the kotel, blow, not shofar, chatzos. So the day after the Yom Kippur War broke out, I lived there in the old city at the time, and came Rabbi Shraga Feibel Frank, the nephew of Shipesik Frank, and the dode of Rebbe Memoria, Zecher Saleh Rabbi Yochaim Yudulei Frank, with his whole throats he built. There's a war, we need a coin to blow the shofars. And I was the one to be Zocha to blow the first shofars. I blew the...
Did it come out?
It came out, yeah. It was good. Yeah.
I don't know how to blow.
Yeah, no, it's much easier than a shofar.
Oh, so you blew it. So but there, it was when the war started. Here, it was the war finished. And he blew his shofar, so Chaim Zimmerman said, of course, he didn't say that in the beginning. He said, when he first got there at Yisrael, he said it later. Okay, now, and we started thinking Tzal, there was such a thing, the gvuras of Tzal, the greatness of Tzal, the greatness of the army. Moshe Dayan, the Shesuma became a hero. He was I don't know if I should say it, what he was in his private life, but he was a hero. He was looked up to. And
they don't say it, but it's not Lashon Hara, because the whole Medina know what they were.
Yeah, I remember what his son wrote in the paper after he died. The opposite of a hesped. So of course, his son had his reasons why he said all that, because he didn't get part of the Yerusha, but I think he knew what he was talking about. So, and they looked up to these people as heroes. So we needed one of the Tzaddikei Ador, Rabbeinu Yoel, that he should come and yell, who told you? He should come and yell, the Rishonim are Rishonim. Actually, the machshava was such that we started thinking maybe the Rishonim aren't such Rishonim. We really, that even though I keep saying that the Rishonim are Rishonim, and I always say it, but in those days, 45 years ago, people forgot that the Rishonim are Rishonim. Came Rabbeinu Yoel and he was matria, he yelled against that machshava. Now, one of the nikudas...
47 and a half years ago.
Oh, very good. One of the nikudas that he talks about is, what happened over there was, it was Rabbim Biad Matim. The armies were the Egyptian army, the Jordanian army, the Syrian army, against the Jews. The Jews were a miut and they were the rabbin. So you said, l'chora, the derech hateva should be that the rabbim should win. What happened was that the ma'atim won. So everybody said that's a nes. And the emes that we say that in Al Nisim of Chanukah. We say Al Nisim, and then we say Rabbim Biad Matim. Well, see him first that a Rabbim Biad Matim is a nest, that the Ma'atim, that the minority won, is a nest. Rabbeinu Yoel brings the RAMBAN in Parshas Vayera in the Inyan of Stam, and the RAMBAN in the middle of that parasha of Stam brings the Inyan of Pilagish Megiva, which in certain things it seems to be a similar story. We won't go into that. The RAMBAN says that there was a big tviyah on the Bnei Yisrael that fought Binyamin, that they didn't ask the Urim V'Tumim if they're going to win or not. They asked, should we go? Who should do what they did ask Urim V'Tumim was, who should go tchila to the Milchama? They're so sure of themselves. Of course we're going to win the Milchama. That's no question. I mean, that's what they thought. They didn't say those words, but that's what they thought. The question is, who should go first? So they should have asked, are we going to win or are we not going to win? In those days when they had Urim V'Tumim, it didn't matter the tactics, it didn't matter the strategy, it mattered, did Hashem send you or didn't Hashem send you? That means if the Urim V'Tumim tells you that you're going to win, so you just go and you'll win. Who cares? What do you have to plan? What do you have to make a strategy for? What do you have to have tactics for? Hashem said you're going to win, you just go and you win. But over here, they thought you don't have to. It's like saying, ich weiß what you're gonna go to the Urim. You're gonna go to the Urim V'Tumim, and you can ask, should we dig a bar for, there should be water for the other regalim, let's say. Why am I saying that? Because it says, Dovash HaTzibah, you ask only things of the tzibah. You can ask, should we arrange there should be water for other regalim? Such a thing, you go ask the rebbe. Of course, that's what you have to do. There should other regalim should have water. We know. You find in the Gemara, Gimen Ben Gurion, with the whole mice over there with the water for the other regalim. So the same thing is over here. So somebody's going to say there's a taina that you didn't ask the rebbe such a question, but it's pashut, it's olive base, you don't have to. So they were so sure of themselves. They thought that will win or not. No question about that. We don't have to ask that. Only what? We have to ask who should go first. And that was wrong. They should have asked.
Well, they need a kavod. Who should go first?
I don't know. Who should, because, maybe it's Indian of kavod. Who deserves the kavod, yeah. So, it says the RAMBAN. The RAMBAN calls that being boteach bizroa basar. They'd be talking to themselves and not in Hashem. That's what the not asking means. The RAMBAN says because of that, what Hashem do? He left them lemikrim. Holach Hashem yisbarach im shneim bekeri v'nicham lemikrim. He left them to chance. Whatever will be. You didn't come ask me, go do what you want. We'll see. Let's see what happens. That's as if Hashem said to them, and what happened? And the RAMBAN says that the Bnei Yisrael were 10 times as much as the Bnei Binyamin. 10 times more, says the RAMBAN. And yet the Bnei Binyamin won on the first day of the war, and they killed 22,000 of the Bnei Yisrael. It came the second day. Also, they asked him, should I go to war? But they didn't ask, am I going to win? Very interesting, this line of the RAMBAN that he says. They asked, should we go to war or not? So what's the time? You should have asked, am I going to win? I mean, you see how, but I mean, I would say that meanwhile, you see what kind of great people they were. The nusach of the question it's so it makes a difference. As if to say if the Rebbe tells us to go to war, so we know that we're going to win. It's not good. You have to ask, am I beferish? Am I going to win or not? And they lost the second day. The Yom HaShlishi, then they already asked the right way, and they won the war. And that's what they ran. I'll call upon him. What do we see from this RAMBAN? The RAMBAN says that they didn't have siyata dishmaya, Hashem didn't help them, and he calls that hinicham lemikrim. And we won't go into the philosophical question of what's hashgacha pratis and what's mikra and lachura. Everything is hashgacha pratis. There's no such thing as mikra. The RAMBAN calls it hinicham lemikrim. It's RAMBAN. It's not people of nowadays that are it's not kanoim of nowadays that are talking. It's not people who just the whole day think about digging quorum or not digging quorum. It's the RAMBAN. RAMBAN says he left him to mikra. So the pshat is there's a certain anhogah that's called a mikra, and then there's an anhogah that's called hashgacha pratis. So what happened when it was hinicham lemikrim? The ma'atim won. Doesn't mean it had to be that way, but it was that way. Comes out that the RAMBAN is saying beferish that ma'atim winning is called a mikra. What could you argue on such a thing? That's the words of the RAMBAN, but you need eyes to see it. I once heard from Rabbi Chaim shmulalavitz. He once said a shir, and he said, it's like a short chabura in his house. He said that the RAMBAN leaves out the Gemara. There's a certain Gemara in Gittin, ben Shita l'Shita, ben Teva l'Teva, but there's a Gitech v'neyar shali. If he leaves the place between words, between lines, and the Gemara says, Teiku, the RAMBAN doesn't bring it. So he said a whole pilpul that he shows that you do see it from the RAMBAN. So he says it does say it in the RAMBAN. So yes. So why did? So he said so if the RAMBAN says it, so why did the whole world ask? The Rambam left it out.